Well, thanks very much. Thanks very much for that, Steve. And can I welcome all of you to the park this afternoon? What a fantastic march it's been. What a fantastic day it's going to be this afternoon in the park. They always say that the sun shines on the righteous, and then something else happens to you afterwards. Well, the sun's certainly shining on the righteous here today, and I wanted to thank all of you, each and every one of you, for taking time out of what I know are in difficult diaries, busy diaries, people that have travelled an enormous way to join us here in solidarity, not just with the 3,500 workers directly employed here at the plant in Swindon, but with those 13,000 workers that are employed to one degree or another, in many cases wholly on the supply of product in the supply chain into this plant. That's 15,500 workers threatened as a consequence of Honda's decision to close their Swindon operation. But colleagues, I just wanted to say a huge thanks to a couple of people before we start. First off, the HIP route. I know a number of you would have missed HIP route, but HIP route were welcoming all those people into the park from 11 o'clock this morning, and they disappeared before the main march got in. So I wanted to say a huge thanks to HIP route for doing that. And of course, most recently, Unite's very own brass band, all the way from Sheffield. What a fantastic welcome into the park that was. And colleagues, of course, as we came into the park, they were playing the impossible dream. Well, this might be an impossible dream, but we're going to turn it into a realisable reality. And that reality is that we're going to fight, and we're going to fight, and we're going to continue to fight until we get a different decision out of this business to make sure that they stay here in Swindon, they protect the jobs of those that are here in Swindon, and they give hope and opportunity to all those youngsters, our families, our kids that are looking for a decent job to follow in these plants. And that's incredibly important, colleagues. Incredibly important that we inherit the jobs that we enjoy so much. We inherit what we do. Just like we inherit our wages and our terms and conditions and all those things that people fought so hard before us to achieve for us. We have no right to sell a job. They're not our jobs to sell, and we'll be selling no work out of this plant in Swindon or in its supply chain. Our job, our task is to stand proud, to stand united, to stand in solidarity with one another, and that's why I'm so pleased to see colleagues joining us here from Belgium and from France and Spain and elsewhere, all of whose jobs are threatened as well as a direct result of the closure of this plant. We have to stand in solidarity with one another and get a new decision in light of new evidence from this business. And believe me, we will leave no stone unturned in our fight to do that. So colleagues, we've got a great lineup this afternoon, a great lineup of speakers from the plant, political supporters and others as well. And of course, we'll be finishing the day with the fantastic Josh Coomer. Josh Coomer, I had to look Josh Coomer up, I've got to be honest with you. But Josh Coomer, not only is he a fantastic rap singer, but he had a #1 here as well in the UK. And Josh is going to close it up for us today. His #1, of course, was Don't Go. Don't Go. And I can tell you now, we've got no intention of going anywhere. Not today, not tomorrow, not next week, not next year. Our livelihoods are here in Swindon, and that's exactly where we're going to stay until we win it. Colleagues, it's my great pleasure to host this afternoon's proceedings. With that, though, comes the inevitable housekeeping. So I've got to take you through just a few pointers for this afternoon before we move on. Should anybody need it, and I hope of course that nobody does, if you get into medical trouble and you need first aid, there is a first aid facility here. There is a first aid tent here. If you're in trouble or you see anybody in trouble, please point it out to one of the stewards in a red vest who can make sure that our first aiders on site take care of you in the best way that they can. Any lost children? There were plenty of children with us today, and how fantastic was that to see the kids joining our families as part of our community to stand up and support our plant this afternoon. A wonderful, wonderful turnout from our families.